Okay, Art Foundations, I have my design traced in all 9 of my boxes. So the end goal is to have a design where you see the positive space and the negative space, and it is rotating what is filled in and what is not filled in. So on my original design, this piece of paper would be the positive space. And we started in the middle. So the positive space in the middle is filled in and the negative space is not. Okay, so then if I go out, the positive space is not filled in, the negative space is. And then when you go out from there, the positive space is filled in and the negative space is not, and then vice versa. So for this example, you can see that I traced everything with my thicker Sharpie, and then with my ruler and my thinner tipped Sharpie, I drew some hatched lines. You can do a very simple pen stroke if you prefer, or you can fill everything in pure black and then leave white spots. So that's what I'm going to do for my other example here. So the first step is I could trace my grid to start very carefully. So I have it on my first line. I am separating my hand, holding it down. I'm going to trace. I felt a little bump of something under the ruler when I just traced that. So make sure your table area is cleaned. Also, make sure when you're tracing on the edge of the ruler that the Sharpie is not getting all over and smudging, because it can just get all over your paper. Having good craftsmanship is a part of making artwork, and making something you are proud of that you would want to display is equally as important. So just make sure you're taking your time. This is not a rush, get it done type of project. Okay, I'm going to turn my paper instead of turning my ruler. I'm going to lay this down and trace this edge. If my pencil is showing around my Sharpie, I need to go in and erase any pencil lines that I have. Again, that's a craftsmanship issue. And then I got this vertical line here and another vertical line over here. I'm keeping the border of my page clean. Okay, so I'm going to start with my center piece. I'm going to start to outline this. And honestly, I would fill this in one square at a time, because it would be really sad if you rushed and then accidentally colored in the wrong positive or negative space. So I'm just going to be going up and down, filling this in with really good craftsmanship. So I don't want to see any white spaces inside of your areas. You should have all of your marker lines or Sharpie lines going in the same direction. So I don't want to see like some lines going up and down, some going side to side, some going diagonal. Just keep everything consistent and you'll have good craftsmanship. Stay inside the border, so when you get close to an edge, be very careful. So these should be really crisp and clean drawings, patterns. I remember doing something like this when I was in high school, and we put the design on a screen and then printed it on fabric, and then I wound up making a pillow out of my design. It was kind of like an abstract version of the marching band logo we had on our uniforms back then. I'm almost done with this center square. Again, I'm going to be really careful by the edge. You can see it's a little lumpy right there. I'm going to see if I can clean that up. I'm going to keep going. Hopefully you all have not been using your Sharpies for other random things and that it's still filled. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next box. So the big space in this area, the positive space, I'm not coloring in because I colored it in here. So in this square, I'm only coloring in the negative space. Okay, next area. Again, keep your lines going all the same direction. Here, ooh, my hand's getting a little shaky. I haven't drawn like this in a while. That always happens at the beginning of the year when you haven't written anything or drawn. Your hand starts to hurt and cramp up. If that happens, just take a break. Stretch your hand. Like I'm really feeling it in my hand since I haven't done this in a while. I'm going to turn my paper to make it easier for me to color in this negative space. Again, I'm still going in all the same direction. I have a few little white spots in there. So I would come over here and I would do the same thing. Make sure that you never forget what areas to color in, either the positive or the negative. And then another thing is always make sure that your pieces are matching up on the edges. I'm going to stop the video here because I don't think I need a full video of you all watching me fill this in with marker, and I will finish this at some point and upload an image of it so you can see another example other than the one I have with the lines in it. So this one had the pen stroke. This one is pure black and white. This one, just filling it in black and white is easier than sitting with a little ruler and drawing the lines, but it's kind of whatever look you were going for. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video here. Email your teacher or me if you have questions.